Sunday morning, I'm in the yard. I'm not in my truck, I'm in the panel van. I'm actually going to get my lorry from Scania at Sheffield. She's been in for a 6-weekly. Brakes have got more travel on it than Michael Palin. So yes, I'm on my way to Sheffield. I'm going to go and pick my lorry up, or my tractor unit, from there. Right, I've arrived at Scania. I'm just going to do my digicard. So I'll insert that and put that in. So it's going to say welcome. Right, now I don't know if you can see that, but it's saying last withdrawal. Yes, so it's going to ask me a few questions. So rest until now. Now, because I've driven up in the van, I'm going to put no. Add manual entries. Yes, I need to. So I did other work for 10 minutes because I was handing my paperwork in. Oh, 9 minutes, right? And then there, and I ended in the UK. Now I've rested until today, but till 11 o'clock. So, because that's when I actually started work, and that's when I began my shift. So literally I've done other work from then until now, because I drove the van over, which is out the scope of EU regs, but it is classed as other work because I'm not at my normal base. And that's pretty much how you do a manual entry on a Stoneridge Exact Duo. Now I'm going to disappear because I've got to reverse out here, get myself sorted, and leave Scania. So I'll talk to you in a second. Hey, well, we're on the A1, we're nearly back at the yard. When I left Scania, I did actually do a piece to camera, but I had the camera on the wrong setting. Typical. Right, now I've been asked in the comments, someone's reached out, they're saying they're new to the industry and they just want to ask a few questions about tacho modes, specifically when loading and unloading. Now, right, this is my interpretation of it and the way I read it and the way I was taught and the way I used to teach it. If you are engaged in any other work that isn't driving, so you're strapping down, you're loading, you're opening the curtains, you're supervising the forklift, loading, stuff like that, you are on other work. Whether it's an hour, 2 hours, you are on other work. Now, when you are, say, let's take Tesco's. When you're at Tesco's and you back it on a bay, now obviously when you're unstrapping your load, doing your back doors and everything like that, that's obviously other work. Then you wander off and you hand your keys in. Now, you are sat in a driver's room. You are not allowed to leave site, but you are not working. You're just sat there watching the telly or listening to the stories by other drivers of back in the day and what boats they've missed and what balconies they've been on and what ships they took over in the outside the Isle of Wight and stuff like that. You know, it's all that kind of thing. And you're there, you sat there. Now you're not working. You're not on a break because you're not free to dispose of your time as you wished. Are you on POA? That was the question. Now, POA, you're supposed to know the duration of which before you start. So if someone says to you, hey, drive, we're going to be an hour and a half before we get to you, park it over there. That comes in the scope of POA because you have been informed of how long you are going to be sat there. Now you can ask the guy in Tesco's, or lady, the duration of which you could be sat there for unloading. Now, my interpretation and the way I'd work it is, if I'm not working, I'm not driving, I'm not doing any form of work, physical, whatever, paperwork, anything like that, when I am sat there listening to the tales of woe from all the other drivers telling me how much the industry's broken and knackered, and young lads today won't have a clue about eating twin splits and everything else that happened back in the day. I would say that's POA. Because you're not working, you're on a break. No, you're not on a break, sorry, you're just sat there doing nothing. You're available to work, but you are not working, which is a remit of POA. However, you don't know the duration of which beforehand. Littles and Audi, you're on other work because you are in there with the PPT and you are unloading the lorry. Definitely other work. When you're in a yard and you're strapping down as they're loading it up, definitely other work with the forklift. When you're sat in an RDC and you're pretty much either just lying on your pit, just waiting for that inevitable green light to happen, you're not on a break because you can't leave site. You're literally imprisoned on their site. You can't leave site. You can't go and do what you want. But unlike a break where you can do what you want. So it's one of them things. Now I would say technically it's POA, it's not break. Is it other work though? Well, other work is any other activities apart from driving, isn't it? So it could be. It's a hard one because again it all comes down to interpretation. Me personally, POA. That's what I do. That's what I used to teach people to do. And if I've been doing it wrong, put it in the comments. Now this young lad's reached out to me, he's new to the industry, he's asked this question. It's a very difficult one to answer because I would say POA in my personal opinion. Some would say other work, and a lot, and I'm telling you a lot, will be on break. Even though you're not free to dispose of your time as you wish. But you are you aren't driving and you aren't working, you just sat there drinking coffee, talking, watching telly. I mean personally I'll take my headphones in from my phone and wrap myself up in YouTube or a bit of Netflix or something like that, but you get the picture of what's going on. I know it doesn't clear it up, mate, I really don't, and I'm sorry I couldn't be any more help for you. I'm sure there's other drivers here that would expand on it, could probably explain it a bit better. There are some very, very good people out there that have a lot of knowledge that would be probably better for it. Let's say another word, will probably be better explaining it, but that is my interpretation on what you should be doing when you are loading and unloading. As I say, if you're pulling curtains, straps, stood at the side of the vehicle, chatting to the forky, you're on other work. That, without a doubt, that's black and white to me. You are on other work because you are engaging in other activities. Sat in an RDC, you're not on a break. You're definitely not on a break because you're not free to dispose of your time as you wish. Don't confuse it with rest. Your 3 hour, your 9 hour and your 11 hours, that's your rest. Because you've got your split daily rest, which is your 3 and your 9. You've got your reduced rest, which is anything less than 11, minimum of 9 hours. And then you've got a normal daily rest, which is 11 hours, which isn't a reduction, which is after a 13 hour day. So that's that. But a break is a break. So people argue it as you will. Put it in the comments. Be nice. when you put it in the comments, you know, be mindful. A lot may disagree with me that they would have it on brake rather than POA. But like I say, the caveat for POA is you're supposed to know the duration of which beforehand, which you don't know how long you're going to be in an RDC. So technically it could fall under other work, but it's definitely not a brake. But someone will come along and I'm sure they will enlighten me on that, tell me where I'm going wrong on that. Just be careful though when using POA, because POA, the first 45 minutes of POA is actually classed as a brake for when you're double crewing. Now on the tacho head, and I don't know why they can't program them, because they will know when you're double crewing because there's 2 cards in, but anyway, so you have to be careful with POA because it will reset your driving time even though you haven't had a break. Because when you start to say, when you're double crewing, because we can't say double manning or double ladying or double womaning or any other of the 2 genders, or the 2 main genders, shall I say, before I get lambasted. You know, when you are double crewing, it is for use for then, and it will reset your driving time, because the first 45 minutes is classed as a break, because you're on a break, you're sat in the passenger seat, you're lying on a bunk if you've got a restraint method on the bunk to restrain you. If not, you can't be in the bunk when the vehicle is moving. That's another argument. So that's my interpretation of it. I hope that clears things up for you, pal. It probably doesn't, but that's my interpretation of it, and I've never been pulled up for doing it the way I do it yet. And I say yet because it could always happen. So anyway, take care. I'm nearly back at the yard, so I will speak to you all in a little while. Right, this is a good one. You can hear me, but you can't see me. Let's turn the radio off. We're going to pick up trailer 13, which is over there. So I thought I'd just do something a little bit different. Now, some of you do it differently, but I always slam the suspension right out, go so far underneath, and then lift up the trailer on the 5th wheel. So I hate banging my run-up ramps. I hate it when other people have got my truck. There we go, and we're now connected. Now we're going to do our tug test. Right, so we know we're safely connected, so now I'm going to put her in neutral, handbrake on, always make sure you got your handbrake on, and let's couple the trailer up together. Right, well, whoever parked that trailer there has decided to park it tight. I'm quite glad you can't see what I'm about to do, because I'm having to squeeze out. I'll be getting back in the bloody passenger side. Oh, I didn't put my wind muff on and it's windy. So first things first, I'm going to do my pin. Always do my pin first, because that's what I do. I'm now going to walk round. put my lines on. I don't know if you can see this, but where I am, let's move you. There we go. I'm going to put my lines on. I always start with the red. Red's on. I don't know if you can hear, but the air's flowing into the trailer, so the trailer's been sat, a little bit of air's gone out of it. Then I do my ABS. Then I do my service. Now these aren't usually on the deck, I always put them in a holder, because it's been at Scania, they've had the cab over, they have to disconnect them and they never put them back, they always just throw them on the catwalk. Right, so I've done that. I'm going to bring you with me, because we're going to do a few other bits now. So we should really 3 points of contact this. I'm holding you lot. So now we're going to walk around here. Handbrake's on, so we're going to pull that and hold it, because I like to do that. And the reason I do that is because if it starts to roll away, I can then grab it again. Let's retrieve you off there. So I'm just going to go and check my tyres. So I'm looking at my tyres. Good bit of tread. All my nuts, no signs of rusting. Stuff like that. Doing that. When we get to the Moffat, tyres are good. Electrical leads in. It's looking good. She has got a set of keys in her, which is always a Brucey. Oh, good. I haven't got the noisy one. That's the noisy one on the back of this trailer. I call it the noisy one because it is noisy. It's a lot louder. It's got a turboed engine instead of a naturally aspirated. It's only a 3-cylinder. They've got Kubota engines in, apparently, on these new ones. Apparently the old ones have got old blooming Ford Granada engines in. So how true that is, never really looked. Right, I'm going to go and get my number plate and I'm going to do my light test. So you've seen me do that before. So, I'll speak to you when I get out on the road. Right, I'm coupled up. I haven't put my number plate on yet. I'm going to draw the truck forward further into the yard. Purely for the fact that it's easier for me to get in and out the driver's door. I've just climbed in the passenger side. So I'm going to draw the truck forward. And then I'm going to do the rest of my checks from there. So I'll see you when I get back in the cab. Right, so that's us at the gate, ready to get going. All checks out, all my lights work, number plates on. Just wait for security to... You don't need to open both gates, mate, I can get through there. Oh well. He's making life easier. Cheers. Thanks, buddy. Pleasant chap, really polite, nice and polite guy. So we are actually going to Leamington Spa. It's 115 miles, 2 hours and 25-minute drive. Currently only showing a delay of 45 minutes. So hopefully it won't be too much of a disaster. I do need to stop for diesel. That is one thing I am lacking in, diesel. I've got under a quarter of a tank. Wow, straight out. I've got under a quarter of a tank, so I will be stopping for fuel. I'm trying to think I forgot to check actually if the M69's shut, because it has been. It'd be interesting to see what's going on there. Oh, I've got to try and keep it under my 6 hours today as well, because obviously I started at 11, it's now 1 o'clock 2, so I've only got 4 hours, so 2 hours 24 before I need a break because of my 6 hour rule. Oh, there's nothing there. No, me and you are going to fall out. Sorry about the beeping, folks, but that's my side scan. There is absolutely nothing there, and this is what I have to put up with. And this is all these systems we have to go into London. I mean, yeah, when it works. I don't know why you are beeping. I really... Oh, you've stopped. You've decided... Oh, right, I can hear sirens. So we're going to sit here and let this guy go. They're off, right. Use my sights to block the lanes there. The car behind weren't too happy, but then I think they realised what we're going on. Anyway, right. I'll speak to you all when I get to Royal Leamington Spa. Welcome back, folks. I am about a mile. In fact, the sat-nav says exactly a mile from Sainsbury's in Leamington Spa. People don't indicate. Wow. Just wow. She's done it again. She's absolutely done it again. Like I say, we're a mile, just under a mile now from where I need to be in Leamington Spa. Hopefully we should get straight into the car park. Now, unfortunately, it's on a retail park, so Sainsbury's shuts at 4. Not sure if all the rest of the shops shut. I didn't actually think to check before I set off. I'm going to be turning right at this roundabout. At the roundabout just up there, and I bet you a load of people fly down my left hand side to get in front of me. 1, 2. No, 2. I'm not saying they're going to get in front of me, they might be going a different way, but we're coming off at the retail park, so it's going to be a case of find out where we're going. Hopefully it won't be too long. Basically we allow 3 hours, we're booked for 3 hours on site to do this work, depending on which teams it is. Some do it in an hour, some an hour and a half, some take longer than that. So we're going to head into the retail park. Where are you going? Right, so let's see what we need to get away with and do here. Right, Sainsbury's. Now, what an interesting building. Right, that's Argos and Sainsbury's, so I dare say we need to be in there. Right, you're all turning left. Because there was nothing next to me, I better swing it quite wide on that roundabout. So let's go in here. This car park is rammed. Where is the front door to Sainsbury's? Oh, I'm not going to get in there. Shoot. I'm not going to make it in there. I have to go the other way. Might have to go round the back for the loading bays here, because I am not going to make that into there unless there's another entrance, which I don't think there is. We have to go up the curb here a bit. There we go. Now that's interesting. Right, I need to find where the loading bay is. Right, I'm going to head up here. I do recall seeing some sort of loading area. Where you're all going in there. So now we're on the hunt for the loading area. Nope, that's an exit. Right, there's a Sainsbury's delivery van there. I bet we are going in here. And they got one of their lorries in as well. Balls. Right, I'll tell you what, we're going to have problems here. We are going to have problems. So I can't get out the front because I can't get in the car park. Let's go and find, there's a roundabout just down here according to the map, so let's go and find that. That is a very busy store. This is the trouble we have sometimes with these till rip outs. That car park was absolutely rammed there, and the entrance, I didn't fancy doing a 180-degree loop around that loop because I would have just driven over all the posts and bushes and done damage. So I'm not prepared to do damage. There's a delivery in. Oh yes, this is going to be fun. Not good. Right, anyway, I'm going to go because I'm going to pull up back outside Sainsbury's. I'm going to stick my park anywhere lights on and go and speak to the team, and we're going to find out what's going on. So I will see you all in a little while. Hello, welcome back. I am nearly back at the yard. Quite an uneventful night, to be honest. Good journey back. There's just a few people hogging the middle lane in the roadworks and sitting side by side, so we can't get past them. Because I'm sure most of you do know, but some of you don't, on a motorway, and I will say a motorway that has 3 or more lanes, heavy goods vehicles, vehicles towing, and passenger carrying vehicles over 8 seats are not allowed to use the outside lane of the motorway. So yeah, you kind of get frustrated sticking behind them, but there's nothing you can do. I know you do see videos of some drivers trying to push them down the road. That's up to them at the end of the day. I'm not going to get involved in anything like that, because I'd like to think if that were my family in that car and they hit the brake, whoever's following them would be able to stop. But yeah, quite not a bad turnaround on the rip out. I think it took them about, well, it was about 7:30 when we left, so half hour over the 3 hours that's allotted that the company booked for. But yeah, not bad. So we're just rolling back into the yard. When I get into the yard, I'll just turn around and park this up. I'm back in tomorrow, bank holiday Monday, because I am being greedy. It is what it is, you know, earn the money while you can. So I'm doing that. Like I say, we're on a trip to Disneyland Paris in February. So it's going to see my goddaughter dance in the parade, which I'm very much looking forward to. So I'm just earning some money to cover for that. And to do a few things at home, you know. That's about it, really. So I will probably, well, I will speak to you all on Monday. We're off to Wilmslow tomorrow, which is over near, I believe it's over near Liverpool. That's just a drop and run, that, but that's for 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Again, for the company that we deliver all this tills and produce stands and that for. And this is me, so I'm just turning onto our estate. I'm going to make my way into the yard, spin around, and hopefully put her back in the spot where I took the trailer out from. So I will speak to you all tomorrow afternoon, evening time, when we're on our way to Wilmslow. Hello, Monday. Not in the yard. I'm just leaving it. Hey. We're on our way to Wilmslow, which I do believe yesterday I said was near Liverpool, because I didn't have a clue where it was. No, it's south of Stockport. Nowhere near Liverpool, where you wouldn't want to walk it. I definitely wouldn't. So we're up there. It is literally just a drop-off and return. So, and it's a Waitrose store. So we like Waitrose. You can usually just drop and run. I'm due there at 8 o'clock. Satnav says I'm going to get there at 10 to 7. So I will stop somewhere on the way over and hang back a bit. Thank you. Because I don't want to get there too early, because if the store's still open, the access to the store don't look fantastic, because we're not on a car park. Why does this feel like it's dragging? It's not. It's rolling free. Yeah, it's a rooftop car park, so it's loading bay, or loading bay is my option. It looks like you've got to get under a bit of a bridge type thing. So now there was no height marker, but it certainly didn't look very high. So I'm hoping I can get in. If not, I'll have to unload in that area and just run it in with the with the Moffat, because I've got Moffat on. It is actually a tail lift delivery, but quite often we'll do tail lift deliveries with the Moffat. It just makes life easier. So we're going to head over the M62 towards Manchester. I'll probably pull in at Birch or somewhere like that. I don't need anything to eat. The wife's already fed me before I left. Monday night's jacket spud night normally for me, so the wife made me my jacket spud with cheese and beans. Thank you very much, wife. And then tomorrow, yeah, we're on a late one tomorrow. I'm probably not going to start till about midday tomorrow. That's us just coming out of Cheadle. They're about 2 hours out to wait, all because of the one loading dock, 3 wagons to unload. So we're heading back to the yard. I'm going to head back there. And we've got a late-ish start tomorrow. Probably going to start about 1 o'clock. Because I've got that Beckenham and I know there's nowhere to park. It'll be a case of find somewhere suitable. Ideally, I'd like to get a few hours north, so if I start at 1, that gives me till 4 o'clock in the morning. Not that I want to be driving till that time, but it gives me time to get out of there, and I could get up to, say, like Cambridge or anywhere like that. Trouble with these supermarket jobs. See, that's where I should have come out of. Unfortunately, supermarkets are at night, but that one at Beckenham, there's no car park, so I can't spend the night on the car park. So I need to be able to go somewhere I can tip. Go somewhere I can park. You can tell I'm getting tired. I'm talking nonsense again. Anyway, that's enough for me update. I'm heading home. I'm hungry. And I'll speak to you all in a wee while. Hey guys, welcome. It's currently midnight, Wednesday morning. I haven't done any filming today for Tuesday. Pretty much, I just didn't do it. Not a lot gone on today, to be honest. I did some shunting in the yard. I started work at 12. I did some shunting in the yard. I then took the trailer that I loaded Sunday at Royal Leamington Spa to the scrapyard to empty that out. Reloaded 2 pallets for tonight's job at Beckenham, which was going to be a late one tonight because it's a late store. Now, we were informed on the way down that the store has a noise order, which basically means they're not supposed to get any deliveries or any work or anything take place after a certain time, which we were informed, I believe, was 8 o'clock. Now, normally when the surveyor goes out, he will find all this information, but he wasn't actually informed of it until today when there was an email coming from the store manager. Now, unfortunately, it was more fortunately for that store. For me, it would have been a backdoor load and not a Moffat load, purely because the tills and the car park's a multi-storey. Oh, pardon me, folks. The car park's a multi-storey, so we couldn't park there. So we were round on the loading dock, and it's flat floor to the loading dock, so it would have been loaded through the back door of the trailer. So I couldn't really show you anything because there was nothing to show there. But due to issues with platform equipment and some barriers that are required by the staff to do the job not being delivered, the job was abandoned at 10:30. So with that, I've headed north. I've made my way up to my little favourite spot of Cambridge. Luckily, there's only 2 other wagons here, one being another one from our company. And I'm here now until, well, I'm going to start at 10. I've got a little job tomorrow on the way back at Alfreton, loading for a company loading for a company round the corner from our yard. We do a lot of work for them, so we'll be picking up the stuff from there for them. I will then be going again to Tankersley and loading up some pallets there to go and do another supermarket strip out, which is a 9 p.m. booking tomorrow evening, which is over near Leeds. So that is pretty much what's happened with me today. So nothing too exciting, to be honest. Didn't bother filming it, driving up and down the motorways. You've seen it before. Sometimes you just think, you can just have 5 minutes of me to camera. I've got to say thank you for all the support that's coming through, though. I am enjoying all the support that's coming through. So this is it for part 1. Tomorrow being Wednesday, or today being Wednesday, when I get out of bed in the morning, it will be start of part 2. So yeah, if you're not sure, part 1 comes out 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning, so you can be bored to death over your cornflakes or your marmalade and toast. I'm a marmalade and toast man. Or peanut butter on crumpets. My wife, she bought me some crumpets once. What do you fancy on it? I don't know. What about peanut butter? So I tried peanut butter on crumpets. I'm hooked. I love peanut butter on crumpets. So while you're eating that on a Sunday, and then on a Wednesday, it comes out. So it should be out. Well, it'll be today, or technically tomorrow, because I'm classing this as Tuesday still, because I haven't been to sleep. That comes out at 8 a.m. as well. Not sure whether to change it up, change it till 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday. I know it means you've got to wait later. But most people will be at work and school, so they'll not really watch it till later. But that's when they come out. So like I say, thank you for watching. Remember, smash that like and subscribe button if you are enjoying it. Thank you for the lovely comments I've been getting, the comments of encouragement. I am enjoying that, so thank you, everyone. And that's it, really, for part 1. So, I will see you all in part 2, which, remember, 8 a.m. on a Wednesday morning is when you'll see it. So, until then, I'll see